the bell icon to turn on notifications.
Hello! Welcome to this chapter about selections. Selections will be very important for your photo editing needs. For example, if you need to work on only part of a picture instead of the whole thing, you can copy part of an image and paste it somewhere else. You can fix the lighting in one part or change the color, so selections are very important. In this module, we'll discuss the marquee tools. We'll look at both the rectangular marquee tool and the elliptical marquee tool. I'm in expert mode here. To select the marquee tools, just go to this tool in the toolbox under Select. To make a selection, you just click on the image and drag. And now you can see these marching ants, as they're called, that show you the boundaries of your selection. Let's look at the options for this tool. Here you can see the rectangular marquee and the elliptical marquee. You can use the rectangular marquee tool for a rectangle or a square, and the elliptical marquee for an ellipse or a circle. Over here you have these selection options, and you can choose to feather and soften the edges of your selection if you wish, just by using that slider. You can also choose an aspect ratio that you can set by ratio or size, and if you want to, you can enter the ratio down here. For example, if you have a 1:1 ratio, that means when you draw a new selection, it will be a perfect square. So I've made this selection, and I'm just going to show you what it means to have something selected. I'm going to go over here to Effects, and in PSE 2022, if you go to Artistic Effects and apply one of these, it will apply it to the whole picture and not just the selection. Now if you go to one of these classic effects, and let's say I choose Desaturate Reds, it will only affect the part of the picture that's inside your selection. So that's something to keep in mind as you're editing your photos. To undo these changes I've made, I'll just press Ctrl-Z and Ctrl-Z again. This is Command-Z on a Mac. And to deselect, you can go up to Select, Deselect, or you can just press Ctrl-D or Command-D. So I'll type that in, and now my selection is gone. I'll show you what these selection options are down here. This time, I'll click on the elliptical marquee, and just something to note here, you can see that anti-aliasing is turned on by default. This means that PSE will do its best to smooth the round edges of your selection instead of having a jagged edge. So I'm going to draw a perfect circle around this bird, and one way you can do it is to set a 1:1 aspect ratio, or you can just hold down Shift, then click and drag, and your selection will be a perfect circle. You can do this with the rectangular marquee tool to get a perfect square. And now, if I hover inside this selection, I can see the arrow, which means that I can actually move this selection. So I'll just drag it. And now the whole bird is inside my selection. To show you what these options do, I can hover over these and they'll tell me some more information. The default setting is New Selection, so when I have that on, every time I make a selection, it replaces the old one. Now I'll choose Add to Selection. When I draw selections now, these selections will merge together. So now you can see these have all merged. The next option is Subtract from Selection. I'll just click on that, and if I draw over this area, it will remove that from my selection. The last option here is Intersect with Selection. So when I click that, and I draw a new shape, watch where these shapes overlap. Now I only have this part of the image selected. To show you how you can copy and paste selections, I'll just type Ctrl-D or Command-D to deselect. And let's say I want to select a perfect square with this bird inside. So I'll go down to the rectangular marquee tool, or you can type the letter M on your keyboard to switch between these tools. I can either set the aspect to fixed ratio 1:1, or I can hold Shift down on my keyboard. I just click and drag, and I'll move the selection so that my bird is where I want it to be. Now, to copy and paste my selection, I type Control-C or Command-C, and this is copied to my clipboard. Now, I'll go to File, New, Blank File, and I'll just go with the default settings it gives me. It will actually give me a document that's big enough for what's on my clipboard right now, so that's perfect. I'll click OK, and now this new window comes up. I'm just going to drag it here. Now, I can type Control-V or Command-V to paste, and this has pasted the selected part of the photo that I copied. I can type Control-Z or Command-Z to undo that. Go back into here, choose the Elliptical Marquee, choose a new selection, and I'll put a big feather on here to show you how this works. I'll hold Shift down to create a perfect circle, move it to where I want it, and now I'll click Control-C or Command-C to copy, go back into that other document, and type Control-V or Command-V, and now you can see that my circular selection has been copied and pasted, and the edges have been feathered. That wraps up this video about the marquee tools.
If you're not a subscriber, click down below to subscribe so you get notified about similar videos we upload. To see the full course that this video came from, click over there. And click over there to see more videos from Simon Says It.